You guys, I have one little regret right now that as soon as I left this page, I knew I was gonna regret. You just have to trust me. You just have to believe me that about 3 or 4 days ago, I was on the wonderful land of Twitter because it's called Twitter and nothing else. And there was this trend called don't comply, do not comply. Of course, it has to do with mask mandates, wearing your mask, getting your boosters, all those you must not name things that I'm going to name because I'm not afraid of conversation. And I just remember this one post. That's what I was looking for as I was recording this because I was hoping I would find it and pull it up, but unfortunately I didn't save it because I accidentally clicked on a tab that the trend was continuously loading, so I lost that freaking post. But basically, it was this person who had a tweet that went something along the lines of don't trust the experts, do your own research, do not comply. What I found most bizarre is that within that same tweet, you had those two words, those two thoughts, those two sentences, and in my brain, that shit was just colliding. If you don't want to comply, but you're encouraging someone to do their own research, what kind of research do you want them to perform anyway? If you don't want them to trust the experts, and you cannot trust the experts, who are you going to research from? What sources are you going to cite? Which sources are you going to trust? If you're not going to trust experts as sources, why would you encourage someone to do their own research? The information that you research, where is that going to come from? Who's posting that information? If you're not supposed to trust experts and you wouldn't comply with anything that experts suggest. So to me, something like that tells me that in reality, what people like that mean is they want you to find other rare sources, other nonsensical sources, other I shouldn't trust you or believe you because you haven't worked on this field a day in your life, nor do you have anything remotely resembling the level of education pertinent to this topic that experts have over you. And you want to find those rare voices to validate your point and claim that it's a hidden truth that is being suppressed and that for some reason only you have that true and only you can understand it and you figured it out and you found it and you are aware you need support and help at spreading the word, or in some cases you discovered that that was the way of things, even though you arrived at that conclusion because you performed your own research. So if you discovered that info because you had to research it, that means someone else made the discovery. Thus, you cannot claim it. You cannot claim expertise on this field. So why would you tell people to not comply with something that someone who would know about that topic says? Help me understand. That's why I don't like engaging on political topics or certain, I guess, scientific topics with some people. Because, sure, I don't want to completely say that experts are always going to be right. We all make mistakes. Research is all about learning, developing, tweaking, this and that. What I hate is the arrogance of these uneducated people who usually are the ones to make these claims. Where is that attitude coming from? Is it because you feel like this is the only way that you can hope to become remotely special? I don't get it. I don't even know where to begin with this one. I just know that it was hilarious to me that I saw that. Don't comply, do your own research. And I'm like, so if I were to somehow participate in this one blog and I wrote something that for some reason turns into a hit piece and is something that kind of revolves around what you're saying, but it's coming from me and I have absolutely zero experience, zero education, zero training, on this field that I'm blogging about, and for some reason it becomes a hit piece, it's very popular, it goes viral, and a lot of people agree with it. Some people believe in what I'm saying. What do you think that's going to mean for me as someone who completely pulled the information from that blog out her ass and just typed it all up? Y'all consumed it, and all of a sudden you're believing my information, which comes from absolutely zero research, zero experience, zero education. You would value that over the expertise of someone who has actually gone to school for this. So, what is the point of you opting for going to someone who has credentials for some things, but for other things you don't want it? Would you hire me as your attorney for your defense when I have zero law school experience, zero training? I am not licensed for that. Would you come to me to perform surgery on you when I have absolutely zero medical training, zero education, zero credentials? Would you come to me for banking advice when I have never worked at the bank? I have zero training, I have zero education on banking, I do not invest, yada yada yada. It's like some people, you demand and expect for them to be accredited. But on other matters, especially anything related to the pandemic, anything related to COVID, anything related to the vaccine and mask effectiveness, for some reason, you don't want the sources of information saying that to be accredited at all. You would rather quote the people who, even if they may have MD on their title, they may post things about, say, increased cases of freaking influenza in Australia or something, but they take that article out of context and they try to say that it's the vax that are causing that. It just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. I'm not saying trust the information from the government blindly, right? But at what point can we go back to respecting people in their respective fields? It's like as soon as, say, an expert becomes popular or gets any kind of media exposure, all of a sudden we cannot trust them, especially when they never had a political background. Why? Why?